What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus check update, the stimulus package update, daily news, pretty much everything going on here in our country and in Washington, D.C. Money, investing, the stock markets. We got a lot going on here in our country. Also, we have new cities doing anywhere from $500 to $1,000 monthly stimulus check programs, also called the universal basic income. We're going to be going over in this video as well. We're starting to see this trend more and more and more. There are cities like this all across the United States doing this, and it seems like almost on a weekly or monthly basis, we're seeing more and more cities do this across the United States, where these cities across the United States are actually implementing monthly stimulus checks, also kind of known as universal basic income, to families in these cities. And we're going to be talking about this as well in major cities across the United States that are open for enrollment right now, paying anywhere from $500 to $1,000 per month to families. We'll be going over that in this video, as well as discussions on trying to finalize the next stimulus package and the infrastructure package. We'll be hearing from Democratic Representative Pramila Jayapal on how they blocked the vote on the physical infrastructure package, but yet they're trying to finalize the vote on the stimulus package in the final negotiations. So yeah, there's a lot going on here in this video. But first, a quick word from our sponsor. And I'd like to say thanks to today's sponsor, Payout. Payout is a company that wants to help you succeed financially. That's why Payout 2 credit card is designed to help you build credit. Payout is really amazing since Payout uses a new approach to credit. When you apply for the Payout 2 credit card, your banking history may be used to instantly create a cash score, a measure of your credit worthiness based on income, spending, and saving. It could help you qualify for the Payout 2 credit card, even if you've never had a credit score before. Plus, you can see if you're pre-approved without impacting your credit score, and it only takes minutes to apply online. Payout also has a super easy to use mobile app where you can keep track of your spending and more. Payout also gives you 1% cash back on all eligible purchases right away, and up to 1.5% cash back when you make up to 12 on-time monthly payments. And the Payout 2 card has 0 annual fees. Payout is partnered with WebBank, a member FDIC, which issues the card. The Payout 2 credit limit ranges from $500 to $10,000 based on credit worthiness, which can help keep your credit utilization low, a key component to building credit. As of today, the Payout 2 variable APRs range from 12.99% to 26.99%. So start building your credit history today with the Payout 2 credit card. Check out Payout 2 card in the link in the description down below and the pinned comment down below, or by going to payoutcard.com/itsjimmy. That's Payout with a T, P-E-T-A-L, to find out more. Okay, we have multiple different cities helping out their residents with the stimulus type programs. You can see here Boston has launched a fund to help homeowners avoid foreclosure. Check this one out. The mayor of Boston announced a new program on Thursday that would use emergency funds to help for homeowners avoid foreclosure, according to the Associated Press. The Boston mayor, Kim Janey, a Democrat, framed the program as an effort to address job loss related to the pandemic. I think they're using the emergency funds from the third stimulus check package, the American Rescue Plan. So I think they're using stimulus check money that went out to cities and states for this. Quote, the pandemic has exacerbated inequalities in our city and highlighted the importance of safe, stable housing, Janey said in a statement. The New England city will set aside $5 million in an emergency fund for this effort, and Bostonians that are 90 days behind on their home payments are eligible to apply. Applicants will also receive instructions on how to avoid foreclosure in the future. We're also seeing more and more cities set up monthly stimulus check programs, or Another name for it is called Universal Basic Income, known as UBI. Los Angeles is now launching what they're calling the US's biggest guaranteed income pilot, UBI, that will pay $1,000 per month to 3,000 families. You can see here, yep, $1,000 a month to 3,000 families in this guaranteed income program that is available. They're going to be launching it now. Los Angeles is launching a guaranteed income pilot program set to be the biggest in the United States so far. The program will give about 3,000 families in poverty $1,000 a month for a year, and there are no rules for the families to spend the money. To be eligible, applicants need to live in the city of Los Angeles, be at least 18 years old, have an income at or below the federal poverty level, have at least one dependent minor or be pregnant, and have experienced either financial or medical hardships related to the pandemic. The federal poverty level depends on the size of the household. For a four-person household, a family earning less than $26,500 would fall under the federal poverty line. Poverty affects 2 out of every 10 residents in the city of Los Angeles, most of them people of color, according to a website for the program. The program is called the Basic Income Guaranteed Los Angeles Economic Assistance Program, called the Big Leap. Applications are available open right now. If you're from Los Angeles, you can Google this program and go and apply for it right now. It has nearly $40 million in funding, South LA Councilman Curran Price said at a council meeting on Tuesday where council members approved the program. He said it would be the largest guaranteed income economic assistance program in our nation's history and called it a life-changing initiative. The concept of a guaranteed level of income, often in the form of universal basic income, UBI, dates back to at least the 16th century. Wow. When Spanish-born humanist Juan Luis Vives advocated for a system of unconditional welfare. Since then, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. has declared his support for the concept and went on to become a cornerstone of Andrew Yang's presidential run in the 2020 Democratic Party presidential primaries. So not only is Los Angeles paying $1,000 a month to over 3,000 families, but Chicago is going to be doing this as well to even more families. Check this out. Chicago and Los Angeles are launching universal basic income programs. Los Angeles will pay $1,000 to, this says 3,200 families per month. Chicago will send $500 per month to 5,000 families. The programs will cost $40 million and $31.5 million respectively, according to Fox Business reporter Grady Trimble. So Chicago has a program that is going to send $500 per month to 5,000 families. Applicants for the Chicago program will be chosen at random, but must earn less than $35,000 a year to qualify. Applications have not yet opened, but the mayor's office will provide more details ahead of the program's 2022 launch, a spokesperson for the mayor's office told Fox Business. Minneapolis, Minnesota is also going to be giving 200 families a $500 per month guaranteed income pilot program as they test out the program in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And if the program goes well, they will be doing it for more people in Minneapolis, Minnesota as well. And Montgomery County wants to pilot a guaranteed income program as well. Montgomery County, Maryland officials today will introduce a resolution to pilot a guaranteed income program. $1.9 million will provide 300 low-income households with a no-string payment of $800 per month for 24 months. Not bad. $800 a month for 24 months. Pretty decent. Now, this is not an updated map. This is a map as of May 2021 with the mayors of guaranteed income programs. So for cities all across the United States that are doing this, there's obviously more cities since then, but this is the most recent map that I have that's kind of a decent map to show here on the screen. There's a lot more cities since then. But as you can see, there are programs like this all across the United States that are going on in literally dozens of cities, and more are opening up every single week. So if you're from one of these cities, you can look into it, see if applications are open right now. And these are literally opening up on a weekly or monthly basis across new cities in the United States. So, and more are happening all the time as they're using stimulus check money from the third stimulus check package, and maybe even more in the future. I will keep you up to date as more happen. I also have the city of San Antonio is using $30 million of their American Rescue Plan funding, the third stimulus package, for utility assistance for residents in San Antonio. So we are starting to see a lot more cities use stimulus package money literally just this week. These are just announcements from just this week. Stimulus money to help out people from their cities. So I will keep you up to date as I hear more information. Next up, here is Pramila Jayapal, leader of the Democratic Progressive Caucus, which is the leader of 96 Democrats in the House, on negotiations and the status of the stimulus program or the stimulus package, the American Families Plan, as well as the physical infrastructure package, voting and negotiations. Here we go.
Joining me now is Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal of Washington, chair of the Congressional Progressive Caucus. And Madam Chairman, thank you so much for being here. It's always great to talk with you. There's a Politico piece out that talks about what went on among the caucus members and Ron Klain at the White House, as well as the president, as well as the speaker. I'm just going to read a little bit of it. It says that as Biden prepared for the high-stakes meeting with House Democrats on Thursday, yourself, Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal, made an urgent plea on a call with White House Chief of Staff Ron Klain. Do not send the president to pressure liberals to vote Thursday on the Senate infrastructure bill without a more progressive social spending bill that's fully done. What happened next is a dizzying fall of dominoes. Biden did not directly ask House Democrats to pass his bipartisan infrastructure bill, leaving Speaker Pelosi, to make the request. Then Jayapal's progressives dug in against the infrastructure vote that the speaker wanted to tee up, using the president's lack of request for cover. Can you comment, as much as you can, on who is putting pressure on your caucus to essentially abandon, even if they claim temporarily, the human infrastructure bill that would help so many Black and brown communities, and just give up and vote for the other bill? Who's putting that pressure on the caucus?
Well, Joy, it's great to see you. Look, I'm not going to comment on any of the discussions. I will just say that there is a lot of pressure to pass the infrastructure bill from the White House, from constituents, from different interests that will benefit from the infrastructure bill. We're not contesting that. What we are saying is what you said at the beginning, that the Build Back Better Act is 85% of the president's agenda, and we're not going to leave people behind. It is the part that is the equity piece, frankly, of the agenda. It is also, by the way, the part that has the biggest climate investment. I mean, there are some good things in the infrastructure bill. There are some things we don't like in it, but the reality of what is going to actually help us take on climate change is in Build Back Better. The $600 billion, I mean, it's really stunning what we've been able to fight for and win with the president's help and negotiation, $600 billion into the care economy. Joy, you know who that is. That's women. That's a lot of people of color. That's a lot of women of color, immigrants, that are going to get these jobs that are going to be good paying jobs. And of course, families across the country that are going to benefit from universal childcare, pre-K, home and community-based care. This is really, really significant. And of course, the child tax credit, as you mentioned. And so our caucus has been, frankly, just really committed to delivering the entirety of the president's agenda. And we understand the pressures on the White House, and we understand the pressures on the speaker, and we understand the pressures on our frontline members. But our belief was that if we could just continue to not leave anybody behind and to push for these two bills together, we would get them. And we are so close, Joy. I know people feel like it's been going on for a long time, but actually the only serious negotiation only started happening about 3.5 weeks ago with these two senators, when we actually said, we need to make sure both of these things pass. And so now I would say I can see the end. I think it is coming very soon. The Progressive Caucus enthusiastically endorsed the framework that the president laid out that you put up on the screen and said that we are all in for this framework. We have text, which is what we had asked for. We're looking at that 1,500 pages, and pretty soon we're going to get ready to pass both the infrastructure bill and the Build Back Better Act out of the House, send it over to the bill. The infrastructure bill will go to the president to sign, and the Build Back Better Act will go to the Senate to get all 50 senators on board.
Yeah, so as you can see here, this infrastructure setback, the physical infrastructure that moderate Democrats want voted on and passed in the House to finalize it, has really frustrated them. And they want to finalize that victory. And on the social spending package. So we have a lot of still division on the Democrats that want to pass the physical infrastructure package, where the other progressive Democrats say, no, we have to pass the stimulus package first. But yet we have a lot of Democrats like Pramila Jayapal that say we're very, very close to finalizing the deal here, and we should just pass the stimulus package first. There's still a lot of other details they're trying to work on as well. They're trying to add a Medicaid compromise for the Republican governors that have not added in Medicaid to their states. They're trying to add that into the package as well, so that the federal government would add Medicaid to people that cannot get it in their states. For the Medicare provisions, we have hearing included in there for seniors on Medicare, including hearing aid coverage. But vision and dental is still being negotiated. We haven't seen the provisions yet on whether Medicare would be lowered, the eligibility age would be lowered to age 60. As well as prescription drug pricing. If they can lower the cost of that, is being negotiated right now. So that is a big thing they're trying to do right now. It would be for not brand new to the market prescription drugs. So anything that is brand new would not be covered under the lowering of the cost. But prescriptions that have been on the market for a while would be under that, where Medicare and Medicaid would be able to lower the cost, but it would also be able to do it for private insurance as well. They're talking about for prescriptions that have been on the market for a while. We also have a 1-year extension of the monthly child tax credits. Those monthly checks that go out to 65 million children that were originally passed from the third stimulus check package. Those are a lifeline to, they say that that takes over 50% of children out of childhood poverty and at least provides them some breathing room. They say that 47% of families use those child tax credits for food. So literally, it just helps them pay for food. I'm sure that a lot of it goes towards rent and housing for a lot of the rest of that as well. So they want to extend that for 1 more year. Joe Manchin wanted to put an income requirement and an income threshold on that, and they are, as of right now, not doing that. But remember that nothing is set in stone right now. We also have multiple different advocacy groups pushing to add a $1,400 stimulus check in there for adults as well. And remember that the second stimulus check was added in just 6 days before they passed the package. So anything is possible. We also have President Biden, as well as Senator Bernie Sanders, are looking to add an $800 stimulus debit card in there for Medicare recipients for Medicare or for medical and dental. So an $800 stimulus debit card that you could use for medical and dental. So that is something that could be in there as well. And that was just recently added here within the last few days. So we do have a lot of kind of give and take and a lot of things that are trying to be added into the package here at the very last moment. So, and a lot of it really still has to come down to Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema. Joe Manchin has said, at least preliminarily, that he is okay with $1.75 trillion. Kirsten Sinema, on the other hand, has been kind of quiet. The one thing she has kind of spoken up about is that she's not really okay with raising corporate taxes, as well as raising taxes on wealthy individuals. She might be okay with a corporate minimum tax, which is something different. That is not raising the corporate tax rate from 21% to say 25 or 26%, but that would be imposing a minimum tax on corporations that make over $1 billion, which I believe is about 200 corporations in the United States. Um, if you make over $1 billion, that would mean you'd have to pay a 15% minimum tax rate, no matter how many write-offs you have. So this would affect the largest corporations in the United States. They're also potentially looking at doing a foreign tax where you may have to pay a 15% minimum tax rate on any foreign taxes that you bring back over from the United States. Foreign tax credits that you may have to pay a minimum tax rate on that when you bring that back over to the United States. There's a whole lot of different things, proposals that they're still tossing around right now, because the problem is that really nothing is set in stone until it's passed. So it has to pass the House, the Senate, and then signed by the presidency, and then everything will be set in stone. President Biden has confirmed that there will be another stimulus package after this. The current goal is to pass this stimulus package at around $1.75 trillion, which ironically is half the size of the $3.5 trillion. So they're going to pass this package that's about half the size, pass the physical infrastructure package, which is $1.2 trillion, then come back around for the other half afterwards, and probably have some new things in there as well. So that's why we don't hear a lot of qualms about the fact that it's not the full size anymore, because they're basically just going to pass what they can right now, get it done, get it out the door, and then come back around to get the other half or whatever they can get in the second half. Whatever they can agree on for that half, they'll basically just start agreeing, negotiating on whatever they can get in the next half, uh, whatever it turns out to be. Like, hey, let's just start working on this next half. Whatever we can agree on, whether it's another 1.7 trillion, 1 trillion, 2 trillion, whatever it works out to be for the second half, it kind of makes sense, right? Like, okay, we've been working on this first package for a while. Let's agree on 1.75 trillion here. We're still finalizing the detail. I mean, the devil's in the details, right? The details are really the fine print, and that's kind of the sticking point. And really, it makes sense, right? If we're going to finalize a package, we really got to make sure the details are. I mean, that's the hardest the part, right? Because once we're putting things in writing and signing on the dotted line, you really got to. I mean, if you're signing a contract, you really got to make sure everything is how it needs to be, right? So that's what they're kind of doing right now. They're looking over, getting ready to put pen to paper, getting ready to write out a bill and stuff like that. Make sure that everybody, wants to agree to this contract, right, and stuff. Then they're going to come back around and say, all right, we basically signed an agreement for a half of what we wanted to do before. Now let's come back around for the other half, is basically what they're going to do. So 1.75 over here, remember, it was supposed to be 3.5 trillion. So they're going to do 1.75, and then they're going to come back around for another 1.75. Now, again, it might be 1 trillion, it might be 1.75, it might be 2 trillion. We'll have to see what the second stimulus package is going to be. Joe Manchin might not want it to be 1.75. It might be 1 trillion, 1.5 trillion, whatever it ends up being. But there is going to be another stimulus package. President Biden has confirmed it. Chuck Schumer's confirmed it. Nancy Pelosi's confirmed it. So they're going to do the negotiations and have another package after this. And basically just whatever they can agree to in the next package will be in the next package. So I'll keep you up to date with everything. Make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on any new videos. Also, make sure to check out Pedal Card down below in the pinned comment and in the descriptions. You definitely want to check that out as well. You can click here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. And this video is how there's 2 different Social Security raise proposals that could raise Social Security by a pretty big amount. So click on one of those videos next Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.